All right, we'll call the meeting to order. This is the Mayor's Commission on Disability Issues. And it is our monthly meeting. So do we have any questions from anyone? Hearing none, we'll move on. Opportunity for public comments is done. Minutes of August and September meetings are still getting prepared, and we'll hopefully have them to approve them next month. All right, the topics to schedule. What that means is, yes, sorry. Need a motion to defer the minutes.
I make a motion to defer minutes to the next meeting.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor, say aye. All
Aye.
opposed, say nay. That's approved. Sorry about that. Thank you, Maylee. All right, topics to schedule for 2026. We gave City Council a list of things we wanted fixed back in January. We're coming up on January, so hopefully all of that stuff will be fixed. Maybe not, but hopefully. But I think we need to prepare another list to take to City Council again. Because there is a lot of things that still need to be done in the city. So obviously we're not going to sit here and do it right now because nobody got to think about any of that. So what I want y'all to do is think about it. And when we have our next meeting, have at least one thing that you think we need to change or get
Is
fixed.
somebody going to provide us with an update to those projects?
We're trying to get that,
Okay.
but it's,
Or do we need to drive by and sort of see or?
I don't think Janet has a total update yet. Some of the stuff was budgeted, but we don't know when it's gonna get fixed.
Yeah, so in November, I will come back with our list from 2025 to give an update on where each thing is. For example, there was a accessible parking space on Vanderwerf Street that the accessibility opened into a tree stump, and that has been fixed.
Oh, good.
So,
That's a success.
so that may be the only one on the list that's been fixed, but I know that's been fixed.
There we go.
Is there a way to get like pictures of those things that are
Ooh,
fixed?
I can drive around the car,
Yeah.
my brownie camera.
If you need help with.
Use your phone, it's much easier.
Okay.
And I could take a picture too, but I think it'll be good to have that as documentation.
I think that's a good idea, Alex. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think the first list I put together based on Google Maps, but since they've changed, and we know some of them have changed, Google Maps may not be up to date. So thank you. Because we got this great presentation yesterday in one of our city meetings, and they fixed it and changed it, and it was singing and dancing presentation. Mine can at least sing, so. So yes, we can do that.
So that's what I'd like everybody to do. Because I think we all know that there's a lot of needs. Unfortunately, with the ADA laws the way they are, they're vague at best.
Amy Hatton too.
And not only are they vague, but a lot of people just meet the very basics. Hotel rooms are a great example. They'll say it's accessible, and it's accessible for maybe a person with a hearing problem. There's no button to push to get in. There's no roll-in shower. You can't get a Hoyer lift under the bed.
So the standard for accessible can vary in certain hotels. I didn't know that. Like,
Oh yes, varies
Okay.
greatly.
okay,
And just because it says that they have a roll-in shower, you have to talk to the hotel. Because some of those definitions of roll-in showers are different.
so I know, in previous meetings, we talked about the, accessibility opportunities here in the Gilliard. And, for those who might not know, you might have noticed the trees have been cleared on the corner in preparation for the Anson African, Memorial Fountain. I was tasked with spearheading that, but, there's an indoor component, which includes a kiosk. And I forgot to relay this earlier, but since we're revisiting lists, I spoke with VP of Operations, Eric, here at the Gilliard. He did send me way back when the, I guess, accessibility standards for museums and exhibitions. And, he wanted to share with us so that we could review them. It looks like there's photocopied from an older manual. It's folks but he did forward these standards. I'm just gonna show Ron since you're closest to me. But he did forward this to the contractor in preparation for that indoor installation that's underway. So I regrettably forgot to share that with the group, but perhaps if there's anything that from what the mock-up shows and then what this is, if maybe there's some feedback we can share to Eric, I'll share it with the collective. Maybe I'll respond to one of your threads, Janet, or.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, the project is underway, but, before they actually put it in, maybe we can just make sure.
We saw it at
Give
DRC.
Jan-
Oh, you did already? Okay, that's right, he did mention that. When was that? Like May? April, okay.
No, it was in the last couple of weeks.
That's what that's what,
Yeah.
that's what brought it to my mind again. Okay. But so you got the green, everything?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Everything looked good.
Thank you. You could have.
I do want to mention that Eric is really alert
Yes.
to ADA issues, and Eric is the one who put the chairs in the lobbies. When Bonnie mentioned that we needed chairs in the lobbies instead of just low benches.
Because I worked as an usher last year and they would get off the elevator and there was no place for people to sit up on the.
Yeah,
certainly.
And it was.
Certainly.
Oh, that was you. That was good.
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
Yeah.
It was awkward.
He has demonstrated like an awareness. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah, he's on it.
But I guess, and I'm sorry for blabbering on with things you already knew, Janet, which you always do. But I would like to also I hope that we all do get to experience the kiosk and maybe it's a model for what, like how future exhibitions should be considered and planned, especially if it's something interactive. So, yeah,
It'll be interesting to see what technology is put into it too.
touch screen and all.
Yeah.
That. Mhm.
I am interested
Me
to
too. Yeah.
see how that works.
Yeah. Oh,
So
it's
that's
just a-
very
it's just a
exciting.
manual.
And I love the fact that they are furthering our understanding of the situation.
Yeah, yeah. But it's not just, it's gonna
That's
be a
important.
beautiful exhibition, yeah.
All right, everybody's got their homework, right?
Yes.
Cool. You need more than one thing, really.
I was gonna say, if you need to now let's remember what we did last year. If you find a problem in a certain space, please give me the street address. Otherwise I troll around forever looking,
Take all the fun out of it.
I know.
Do we live in different areas? I think I'm West Ashley, you're West Ashley.
West Ashley, we're like neighbors.
Okay, and are you?
Oh, like-
Downtown.
Oh, good, okay, so you're down.
Oh, we got somebody that's not West
And
Ashley.
you live West Ashley as
Yeah.
well? Okay.
However, everybody, like Mika works downtown,
Yeah.
so,
That's true, so we all kind of travel around.
and we know Marka trolls
Oh,
around.
yeah.
She used to troll around the bars, now she has a dog. So,
I see her
Hey, guys.
everywhere.
Someone
I'm
come.
not a bar hopper. I do like to have a drink now and then, but
Next time you go bar hopping, let me know.
yeah,
Lord have mercy. We need to just take them over.
that's a very fun thing. And Michael knew about the crossing on 61. And Alex told me about the crossing on 61 further up. The APS, which is the automated pedestrian signal, those are not working real well yet. We've got some things to do to get there, but
They need
everybody, bring your problems.
Yeah.
Don't bring me any problems from North Charleston. I can't fix them. They won't listen to me.
No, please don't.
We tried.
People do that often.
Oh, the worst lately has been Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant has been the war. They don't have the appropriate parking places and anyway,
Moving right along.
that was unkind. I apologize for bringing that up.
All right, so Janet sent out this attachment that her and Michael worked on. And unfortunately, the handout that we would like to give out, we really can't make just a one pager or a 2-pager. Because everything is way more complicated. And that's the frustrating part about the ADA, is that everything's so vague. You know, and you can find different answers in different places. But this will give the owners of the establishments something to go look at. Hopefully they will, on what they need to do. The portable ramps, you know, they're T-Bones, West Ashley. They have an elevated seating area and they have a ramp they bring out for that.
Oh,
Yeah, well, now let me tell you, it's a fun ride going down that ramp. Are you taking it, Alex?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's steep.
Is it a slope?
It is.
Yeah, it's,
Boy.
It's a slope.
It's a big slope.
But, you know, that's the kind of things we need to look for. I think we're still shooting for February, sorry. To, I don't know what we want to call it, ride the streets.
yeah,
But
that's
go
street
down
walking
King
is not
Street.
considered appropriate.
Go in every establishment that's a public establishment.
Right. How we roll.
See if we can move around through the facility, see if we can get to the bathrooms, and then actually use them when we get to them. I think it will be an eye opener for some of the places.
I think we're gonna scare some of the clerks, not the proprietors, but the clerks. We're gonna
Right.
frighten them.
Right.
Is my concern.
Yes, that is a concern, and I don't know, maybe we could send I don't know, do you want to consider sending a letter to all the establishments that we're gonna go in and tell them?
I thought about that, but I think not. I think that just showing up is gonna be
Yes.
a little more humane and not quite so structured,
Yeah, my problem with sending a letter is they're gonna think we're there to inspect them.
Right.
right? We're not. Yeah,
And in my thought in this whole process is not to inspect them, but to educate them.
Yeah, I think alerting them more abruptly is not the right word, but just showing up is the better way to do it.
Impromptu, yeah.
I think it would create a lot of anxiety and
Right.
that's not the purpose.
And in all reality, that's what we do when we go somewhere is we just show up.
it's true.
You know, we don't, if we're making a reservation, then my wife or I will say that I'm gonna be there in a wheelchair, but if we're just going there, just go there. So,
That's the way it's supposed to work.
yes,
I never go anywhere without checking first, ever. I call every single place before I show up, so I don't waste my time. That's
Well, that
just
makes
me.
sense.
That's just me.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of what we're doing. We're seeing who's prepared and who's not, and educating those who are not prepared of how they can be prepared for when we show up.
yep.
Yep.
Yeah, because it would be nice to just go somewhere and actually be able to get to the table and eat and then actually leave without having half the people move their chairs so you can get down the aisle.
Yeah, it's disturbing. It disturbs me to bother other people while they're eating. You know, I don't like to
Yes.
be a problem. And
Yeah, and it's not their fault.
it's not. And I don't use a chair, I use a cane, but they still, it's like parting of the Red Sea. They
Yeah.
still get out of my, you know. Still get out of my way. And tell me what y'all think about the page that I sent out that includes alternative accommodation signage, portable ramp details, sources for Braille. And D somehow didn't print, but D was to offer to look at the bathrooms that day or another day if they prefer.
I don't see that sheet, what you're reading.
I never saw the bathroom part.
It didn't print for some, I don't know.
Oh,
I saw you added the Braille.
Yeah,
Got it.
it was in the email.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm adding Amazon and Wayfair to the portable ramp availabilities. The reason I didn't add that in the first place was that Amazon and Wayfair, you have to know what you want. You have to know that you want a ramp that can sustain 600 pounds. You have to know that you want it to be 36 inches wide. And these other companies that I've put in, for the most part, make these all the time. And for example, Illumaramp has a little chart where it shows you if you have this kind of space and this kind of need, you can get X, Y, and Z. So that was the only reason I didn't put in Amazon and Wayfair, but it is no trouble to put them both in there.
Janet,
Yes.
I'm looking at and it's actually the service animal.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Service animals.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Whether they're permissible.
D is service animals, and then the other one was to offer to
Yeah,
look.
E would
Okay.
be, yeah, bathrooms perhaps, or restrooms.
Yeah, I saw the service animals.
Yeah.
Did that make sense, Mark? Did you get a
Oh.
chance to look at the service animals? And Jane may have also had the two folks that have service animals may have input on those. Did y'all see anything that was amiss?
I honestly, I did not have a chance to see it,
Because of your service animal?
no, no. Time, I glanced at it, but I did not look at the whole thing. I'm sorry, and I'm trying to find it right now. My Gmail is doing something very weird. Like the other day, I watched 400 emails disappear out of my inbox.
There's a trick.
Yeah, no, I mean, literally, I'm watching as the number went down. So,
I can resend it if you don't
please
have it.
please do, because yes,
It'll be Monday before I resend.
that's
what I have in
that's
my hand is the
fine.
wrong thing.
Can you summarize? Sorry.
Yeah, the
Um,
service animals, I put in the ADA.gov link for service animals.
Oh,
and
I did see that. Yes, I did. I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's perfectly appropriate.
Okay,
Jane, I don't know if you want to comment on that, but that is the standard that we have to live by.
so that's what,
I
yeah.
don't, why am I not seeing the service dog thing? I'm seeing every link in here on the form, which is so well done, by the way. But I can't find the service dog one.
Scroll down.
Yeah, it's
It's
there.
on page 2.
Oh, it's on the last page. It's on the last page.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm looking right now. Okay. I'm sorry. I missed that.
Yeah, she's just not on camera.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at all of this.
Pop that one.
And Michelle, if you have input about the Braille printing, is having a Braille menu as important as having a person read to you what the specials are? I'm curious about your experience with that.
Well, I'm not
Amy
a
too, sorry, I
Braille
didn't realize
reader.
Amy's there
I'm
too.
Oh, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I'm not there. Oh, okay. Yes, I do not read Braille, but I know when I do go out with those that do, having the Braille on the menus has been extremely helpful. For me, it's been helpful to have the large print menus. That works well for me because then I'm able to use my magnifier on my phone When they're the regular size, even my magnifier, it's really hard. But the large print is extremely helpful, and I know the Braille is for those that do read Braille.
I will edit to include that. Amy, is that your experience also?
I will say a lot of restaurants are now using QR codes to be able to take a picture of the QR code to pull up a digital version of menus. And I found the QR codes that take you to a digital menu is a lot more accessible for myself as a blind individual, because I can use my technology to have it read the menu aloud to me.
Thank you so very much. I didn't even realize that was a possibility.
Yes.
COVID.
Is there anything else like that that I'm missing because I have sight?
I just looked over the service animal. It looks great. Yeah, I think it's great. Is there, yeah. Is there a reason it says including when they aren't allowed?
Yes, because sometimes, let's just say shop owners or even public entities, sometimes they are under the false impression that they have to allow any dog, anytime, anywhere, whether they ask the questions or not, and that when the dogs start attacking other people in the room, which sadly happens,
Right. Oh my God.
they don't know that they have recourse.
I see. Okay.
Well,
I just kind of worry that, yeah, I don't love
go ahead,
it.
Jane. I'm sorry.
I just don't love that that's what's up there only because people are like I'm denied more than I'm accepted.
That
Um,
shouldn't happen. That really shouldn't happen. Churches can turn you away. But restaurants and public access should be allowed for any animal that they can ask the question. But if a dog is a nuisance, they have every right to say, I'm sorry, you have to leave. I was actually in a restaurant a couple of years ago with Cora, and she was quietly under the table. Most people didn't even know she was there. And a guy came in with a dog. He took one look at Cora under the table and started barking, and the owner said, sorry, you have to leave. So not
Which
me,
is,
but the other dog, which is the appropriate response.
yeah.
But ADA, I mean, anything service dog related says if a dog is a nuisance, it can and should be removed. If the dog is not a nuisance, they have no reason to ask you not to come in.
Maybe, Jane, what I'll do is I will reword that section because I don't have it in front of me here because it didn't print on my sheet, but I'll reword that section so that the nuisance part is a little less highlighted.
yeah, I think it would be great because I think everything else is very disabled oriented, like disability first, instead of non-disabled first, right? And so if we could keep that part disabled first too, instead of non-disabled first, like catering towards us rather than catering towards, non-disabled, that would be great. Just because there's been so much discrimination I've experienced, I know a lot of other service dog owners have experienced, especially in South Carolina, with service dogs being mobility aids, that it would be like if that were like the title, does that make sense? They would be like I just would love it to be a little bit more disabled people first with that one. But other than that, it looks perfect.
Well, we'll go over this again. That's why we started in October with a end date of
Yes.
January, was to give enough time for everybody to digest this and make suggestions.
And I am so late and delayed, and so you don't have to take any information from me on that. But other than that, everything looks perfect. So thank you so much.
Jane, I agree with you as a dog owner. I agree with you. I think we need to be the top priority rather than what quote unquote normal, non-disabled people are doing with their dogs. This whole thing should be oriented to what's happening in the disability community. So thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. And I'm going to step out for a minute because my dog is ringing the bell to let me know he needs to go do his business. I'll be back.
We all understand that.
Do you have in that section, the 2 questions that they can ask?
Yes. It may not be that the 2 questions are spelled out, the 2 questions may be included in the web page, but I can spell out the 2 questions.
Spell out the 2
Okay.
questions.
Yeah, kind of with that, Jan, I have a suggestion on the format of the handout. I think
I would
it
love
would be,
suggestions on that.
would be useful, just kind of like a headline for each thing we're sharing here of, okay, so we've got A, alternative accommodations, B, portable ramps, braille printing. Maybe we could say, you know, ramp accessibility. Here's the rule, like the one I shared of at 1 inch for every, or I mean, 12 inches for every 1 inch. And that's the headline. For service animals, service animals are allowed unless they are a nuisance. Like that's the headline. So people can take the and reading braille printing or auditory help or eyesight help. These are things that can help. The QR code, braille, etc. And those are the headlines. And then we share some links beyond that. I just think it might be a little more of a useful thing for people to refer back to and keep on hand.
So you're talking about hitting the most important point first in the
Right.
headline.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
If
love
I-
that idea. I think that's a really good idea because, when we look at stats with how people view things in marketing, they only spend about 0.3 seconds on something. And so if you're just reading something like that, I think that's perfect. Um, and then if they really want to learn more, they can go to the links.
Yeah.
Michael, I wasn't fast enough to write down everything you said, but I got some of the gist of it. May I put it together and proof it back through you?
Yeah, we can go back and forth and
Okay.
follow up. And I'll send what I'm thinking and you're thinking and design and go from there with everyone else's input.
Would a QR code on the handout also be helpful to go directly to some of these links? Right, so like there's a lot of things that people would, you can clearly click on them if you had this email. Yeah, it just would be easy if someone could scroll and just click quickly. And then I had one other thought is like, what are other common things what are the most common things that matter? Is it like, I was thinking, how to pay, like, do they have a card reader that can be like mobile or not? But you guys have way more experience with that. So, these are certainly like laws, right? But there's other things that they could do that would be super helpful. And I don't know if that would be a appropriate time to just add hey, this would be great too.
I don't see why not. I feel like we're gonna get one shot at this.
Well,
So,
yeah, and I don't
We have
want
to
to
keep it to 1 page.
Yeah, I don't want to overwhelm anyone, but if everyone had a consensus on like 5 things or something like that, you think that we want to be informing them about it, I would want to know, how to be, so much of our world revolves around hospitality, and you think that people would want the opportunity to be more hospitable.
So at the very end, we could do a little list of helpful hints from our experience or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
This is almost like a nice way to keep people empowered rather than feeling like they're in trouble.
I had the exact same thought. It's like we're like listing ADA information and stuff, and that is certainly like super important.
Mhm.
But like the softer touch might get you a little bit more engagement.
Yeah.
Again, if it's helping someone be more hospitable, I would think this is.
Yeah.
I wrote down expanding hospitality, like in terms of just it being more of an invitation rather a rebuke. Yeah, I'm sorry. What was that, Jamie?
And more casual language.
Yeah,
Yes,
more
more
casual,
casual language.
Yeah, love that.
So, yeah, because it's almost like, when you think about, I know before I became disabled, like it was an intimidating thing to understand because I was never taught about it, which is so sad, right? That's ableism. And so if you have a business, you want to be, if you're well-intentioned and hopefully not a bigot, like you want to be, you want to help people and you want people to come into your establishment. And so this would feel, punitive possibly. But if it were more like, you gave them really fun facts, then you could be that like maybe cool, approachable person that could give them cool facts about service dogs one day, like they feel empowered with this nice information.
Sorry, I'm writing as fast as I can.
And
And
I
I'm sure
would,
I'm missing most of it.
and I would, if I know we can't use Google and all that kind of stuff, but I'd be happy to help with a one pager, if you ever needed help with like the QR codes and Canva and
Thank you.
stuff.
I
Yeah.
will. I will need help with it, in fact.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
something that I can do from bed or whatever.
I don't disagree with not coming at them in a punitive way. However, I feel like as it is, they do the minimal of what is required, if that, in some places. And if they're not privy to what the laws currently are and what is already expected, then it may come across as, you know what, this would really be nice if you did this for when persons with these certain disabilities came in, and it may come across more as a, you may want to think about doing this versus the law is this, but in addition, like you were saying at the end, then adding some fun facts or tips or things like that. That's just my thought.
Good point too. We don't want, because there is such a bare minimum as it is. The law is such a
Yeah.
bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a possibility to add like the ADA link to this? Just the overall arching,
What
um,
the which part of the ADA? Just the
just for the businesses or,
Like access board link or,
because the links kind of
so I see that for the portable ramp section, but
when I clicked on uh when I clicked on the service animal, when it went directly to the government. Is that what you
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, okay.
so I guess, yeah,
I got you saying. I got
just to broaden it out just a little bit so that
you. The ADA
they know
though.
where this information is coming from. Obviously, it's linking to ada.gov, but giving
I
them
got you.
an overview of what the ADA
Yeah.
is.
We
But I
could do,
like the idea of the QR code.
yeah.
Because typing all this stuff,
So, yeah, but perhaps I don't wanna, I hope I'm not making this more complicated, but the QR code with the landing page or something like that.
A
that
link
could-
tree maybe?
Yeah, like or a QR code that goes to a document, like a Google Doc that would have these links, these hyperlinks. Maybe that would be helpful.
I think like what about if we did a link tree? Then like,
Perfect.
yeah, that would be
I don't know
easy.
anything about that.
I didn't even hear the words. What? So
Link tree.
tree.
So link, I guess a brief explanation is,
a link tree?
so on social media, let's say you follow your favorite whomever, celebrity, they'll say link in bio. So for more information, you would go to their bio and there'd be a link tree. And what it does is it allows for you to link several websites or more. So maybe your website, maybe an event coming, a ticket link. So that way you're not just confined to just, one, I guess one link. You don't have to jam it in. You can actually provide. So like one link could be the ADA that Alex just mentioned. Another link could be, city policy. and so on and so forth.
Yeah, you could link, I guess I was not clear. I was thinking that QR code would take you to either this document, and you can click on these hyperlinks.
That's true. That's
right?
what I was saying too.
Yeah, same with Linktree, but I don't know if you have to like pay for Linktree
Yes,
or whatever.
yeah.
But you could absolutely like host this on whatever like
Yes.
government
Yeah.
appropriate like drive is. But you could put this on OneDrive or Google
Yeah.
Drive, and people could click it and all that.
You and I were saying, yeah, either way, I think.
I think for the handout would be great is if we're handing this out in person, we would want the code to be a Linktree code because people are actually using their phone
Yeah,
to
Ah,
scan,
that's why.
that's why, yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
another issue with QR codes is
So
you're looking at
I'm
it on your phone, you can't then
right,
scan the QR code.
That's true. That's true.
right.
So it's,
I'm gonna need a lot of help with this.
I-
We can do it. We got you.
Janet, this is something that I think this is like something I could do really easy, like while watching the TV or something like that. So yeah, I would be happy to help.
Thank you, Jane.
Jane, did you see the link I just sent to the group text? It is the ADA link about service dog resource. It's a resource hub
Oh,
for
no.
ADA regarding service animals. I just
Oh,
sent
cool.
it to the group text.
Oh, that's
Y'all,
great.
I just want to point out too, this is why there's nothing about us without us.
That's right.
Yes.
Because look what we've learned. Look what I've learned. This is good stuff. Is there any other disability that we're missing because we are not all inclusive? Is there any, I feel like people with like chemical sensitivities, they know where they probably can't go into a Yankee Candle store, but they probably know where they can and can't go. Does anybody have any input on that?
Or not on the scent, but just I thought about certain auditory, like being sensitive to noise. Might be like maybe some establishments that have more music or more, I don't know if that is something you can.
That's just old people in
Yeah.
bars.
I'm thinking, I don't know, but no, I don't know about the scent piece. I didn't want to step on anyone who had anything about that. Or,
You do make a good point. Like I know like different department stores and things like that have like low light hours for people who are neurodivergent and things like that. Like there are links that we could put up for people if stores wanted to do that.
That's cool. I didn't realize they did that. That's great.
Oh yeah, like Harris Teeter and Target and all of that. They'll do um like from, 6 to 9 for people who are on the spectrum, where you can go and shop. And for people also who are like, don't want to, might want to shop if they've had like a day with their hearing aids. And so there's like a lot of things we could do with this one pager if people really wanted to support the disabled community in Charleston and we didn't want to just do low hanging fruit.
yeah, and I'd add to that, having some experience in big box retail, communicating to an establishment, you could get those perhaps have a group accommodated. I know there was a shopping, I don't know if that happens here, but in the Northeast, there was a seniors day, between like 9 and 10 or 9 and 11, specifically to make it more accessible for seniors. So even that could be more of an event or something. I looking into the future, perhaps if we help host a day like that or an event like that to showcase what accessibility could look like for some of these shopping establishments or whatever we choose. I think it's spot on to kind of be a little bit more ambitious beyond what's supported by law.
Wonder what would happen if we tried to hold a meeting or a training session.
There's actually, the Gilliard actually has, there's a company called Culture, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I had to go through that training when I was an usher, because the Gilliard has during performances, as we can all understand, they have a space up there where people who are sensitive to sounds or too many people, they actually have an area, and I believe, gosh, they have the headphones that you can put on. They have some different,
Parks.
yeah, but we
Parks.
had to go through that culture. It's with a K, it's like
Culture
training.
Central.
I don't remember what it was called, but yes, it was really very interesting that, I don't know how that would, impact our smaller businesses, but.
But I wonder if we actually
Culture City.
not only did this, but then after we did this, offered to host a training session for businesses.
I see no reason that we can't poll the people that we go and visit and ask them if they'd be interested.
And maybe
love
one
that.
avenue for that with the King Street group would be there. Don't they have a King Street organization?
They do.
And maybe if they meet, maybe, just like you said, just the 3 points that could be made at that
Yeah.
meeting if they want more information, but.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a similar thought. It's
are
like,
willing.
if there's already a business community meeting regularly happening, but I think what you just said, I think there is some sort of like loose organization for the King Street district,
And
right?
I'm sure there are many of them throughout our.
Yeah,
our
it's a great
areas.
idea though. So like, hey, we'd love the opportunity to come and speak for 30 minutes or give it to like, be awesome opportunity.
And
I think
Haley, you
people are
said
more
that,
willing than a lot of people give credit for. I've been in contact with the music hall house manager for years. It's been an issue, and they finally were going to be doing a roll through because they have a new seating plan. And when I said, well, what about a roll through? And he goes, I've got all your notes. And I just sent him hashtag nothing about us without us. And the next morning he sent me a text that I was thinking, and I think we should have the roll through with you here. So, yeah.
There's a follow-up point to that, is that I've been doing this job for 20 years. And with the changeover of the staff for the city, I hate to have people repeat themselves to me. That irritates me, for people to tell me something more than once. Sorry, personal flaw. But so I don't repeat myself if I can help it to other people. And after 5 years, I really need to repeat myself, because people have turned over and changed, and you never know what has occurred in someone's life that makes them more receptive, like nothing about us without us, Marka. So I think it pays to continue to toot your horn.
The squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Janet, I'm looking here. I don't see anything for intellectual disabilities on here.
For intellectual disabilities?
Yeah, am I missing or am I not?
No, you're not missing anything. I didn't know what a store might do to accommodate intellectual disabilities. There's nothing in the ADAG, which is, the structural stuff.
Okay.
So I'm open to anything. I am just ignorant of what can be done for that.
Right. And I also don't see anything for mental illness too. I'm not sure either. I just wanted to point that out, that like I didn't want us to miss anything.
Oh, I appreciate it very much. I just, except for the quiet hours that Mika was talking about it. Target and where else?
oh, I'm sorry, so someone else brought that up initially. Was it Michelle or Jane? I'm not quite sure who brought up the quiet hours at Target.
Well, yeah, that was me. Yeah.
Okay.
What
Jane.
other place besides Target was it?
It's a couple of there's grocery stores that do it.
Oh, you said Harris
Harris
Teeter.
Teeter.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, maybe not Harris Teeter. It's like maybe it was Albertsons or something. I don't
But
know.
we can absolutely put those links on
Yeah,
the page, because if we do a QR code,
I
then we're
wonder-
back to a one pager.
it might be helpful to put some what do I do if, or I don't know, a lot of harm can be done. I don't know. I maybe we should think on it,
And thinking
Or-
on it is perfect, and we can pick it up again in November
yeah.
or a redo.
Yeah, yeah. I just got to think on it. I'm sure there's something we can talk about for mental illness and intellectual disabilities and neurodivergence. I just like can't think of it right now.
And in the meantime, if you feel like you need to tell somebody or write it down for fear of losing it, please feel free to
Okay, yeah.
text it to me or leave it on my phone or whatever. I will be happy to be the gatherer of these
Yeah,
thoughts.
I might consult with someone as well and see their thoughts.
Thank you. Good start, y'all.
Sorry.
All right. I think we've done enough on that for today.
Agreed.
So let's move on to the Janet, you're up. Report from the ADA coordinator.
I have a national report today. Nationally, the effort to include certain minority groups is being diminished by the minute as we speak. I'm only going to tell you what I have gathered from information from more than 3 news sources. The style of AP and that kind of news source. I am not looking at news sources that are extreme on one side or the other.
Partisan. You know.
Partisan, there you go. These are nonpartisan news sources. But the special ed department of the Department of Education was completely eliminated in the RIF that the current administration put into place, and then was reinstated by a court order. And that was supported, I think I heard today, that this last part may be the part that I'm not clear about. I think it was supported by an appellate court also. So it was eliminated completely and then reinstated, but it is basically in flux. So we need to know about that from my perspective, that we need to know what's going on nationally. Similarly, the FAA rule about traveling with wheelchairs that we had been so excited about having has been suspended. The airlines can now beat the heck out of your chair and not pay you for it, which is really unfortunate because of my friends who travel with wheelchairs. They never know what they're going to end up with on the other side when they get out of their chair. So those are 2 things that are for sure diminished from what they were. We had a lot of progress in the last couple of years from an ADA perspective. We had the public right-of-way architectural guidelines that were created sometime around 2007, 2010, sometime in there. They went out for public comment and then they were never passed until 2020, I'm gonna say 1. But they were passed, and so the architectural guidelines for the public right-of-ways were established. They are law, just like the ADAG, the ADA architectural guideline is law. And it's really hard to disturb a law. However, we need to be aware of it. We may not be able to make as much headway with progress for keeping ADA things, ADA people. I hate to use the word included because that's one of the words that's triggering everybody. But at any rate, I wanted y'all to know that sadly, the federal government is also, as you're probably aware, refusing to send money to cities and other places that don't conform to their anti-DEI efforts. So it's just a little rough right now for the likes of minority groups, of which people with disabilities are one.
And I think
Yeah.
that's exactly why we need to keep being the squeaky wheel. I mean, I'm not surprised at all. We saw this coming along with everything else, but that's why we need to be the squeaky wheel.
That's why we need to do what, Marka?
Continue to be the squeaky wheel.
Oh, I don't disagree. I just wanted everybody to know that I felt that we had really made some progress in the last year. We may not be, we can still squeak, but we may not be able to make as much progress over the next year. It depends on what happens. I'm very concerned about what happens. And I am willing to continue to press and push certainly. But I'm a little concerned, frankly. And when they took away special ed, that really concerned me. So, other thoughts on that?
With the special ed programs from the federal side of things, does that responsibility fall on the state now in terms of?
Falls under the Department of Education. And so the Department of Education gets the money and sends it out to the states. The states then, I'm guessing, send it on to the counties. I'm not sure how each state does that, but that's how special ed money gets out. And the special ed money is also directly attached to PT and OT services for kids in schools. It's directly attached to home respite services too, somehow. I'm not quite sure how that works, but I've been, national disability leaders are very concerned.
I want to know if there is any interest perhaps to make an appeal to, from a municipal standpoint, to raise these concerns to our current leadership, city council, and including the mayor, perhaps relay these concerns and ask whether or not they're able to lobby our state legislature for any support. I know it won't be the same in terms of federal funding, and I know there've been some rollbacks in some grants. I've been, I've seen it firsthand in sustainability, but perhaps it's worth an effort to just make our leaders, our elected leaders here aware, even at the county level especially, hey, this is a concern that's on our radar. Will you advocate, will you make an appeal to state leadership to continue to support us? And just, is it worth an effort to do that? I think maybe.
Is that something that we could put into our report to city council when we go in January?
I think that'd be great. I think that's a good idea.
Is that,
Yeah.
anybody have any big heartburn over doing that?
There's part of me that feels, I mean, since this is a city commission, we're not like a personal nonprofit organization. I guess we all could form one together, but being a city thing, with the city mandate, there's part of me that wants to say, let's fly under the radar a bit and do what we're doing. I feel like last year, we did that list, and we're going to check on how that's been implemented, I guess. And we know that there are some successes. But I also kind of feel, hey, maybe doing what we're doing, in and not having heard anything from uh the higher ups or Mayor Cogswell's direct office or anyone else, I feel could kind of be a silent blessing that they like what we're doing. I don't know.
I hear you.
That's a very good point. I always tend to want to, bash heads first, but that's.
Well, again, it wasn't, I definitely respect that. I think being subversive and subtle is something I think a lot of groups have to do right now. And also, and perhaps I'm biased, given my position with this current administration, but I feel like, I can't measure it. I can't speak for this entire body, but feel like we do have folks who would be sympathetic to at least hearing some of the angst that these recent moves have caused. Not so much to do anything, but for awareness. Yeah.
Hearing angst is certainly,
It could, yeah.
I think it's one of those I feel statements.
Yeah. But I hear Michael as well. He had made a valid point. Yeah.
Let me come back to in November with the list of things we gave to city council last year. We'll see what kind of progress we made. And then let's let y'all form your thoughts on that too. I think we can inform the city council. I think we can inform the mayor. I don't know that we can urge them to do anything particularly. I think we can inform them. Does that make sense?
Like to urge them.
I think that we
Again,
need
what
to
is the
speak
role of
about being humans and doing what's best for humanity. That may be a big reach, but there's something about morals and ethics that I certainly believe could be added to the equation.
I'm writing that down. So I won't go back likely until January. So that is the complete ADA coordinators report for this month.
Anybody have any announcements?
Yes, I have an announcement. First, I was able to reach out to North Charleston Park Circle for our event for next year. And I believe we're gonna do it. The Thursday is the only available day closest to the weekend, so let me pull that email up really quickly. So we're gonna go with Thursday, July 23rd, 2026. And I'll meet with the committee and the working group and get some ideas going. We'll probably do the same late afternoon, early evening time frame again. So that's the date that's on the books with the Park Circle office. So that's
You say Thursday, the 26th?
yes. I mean, sorry, Thursday, July
23rd.
23rd.
Oh,
Okay,
23rd,
2026.
2026.
okay,
Okay.
I'm with you now.
Too many numbers there.
Okay.
You just tested my brain. Told you already, I donated it. In my spine.
And then one other quick note, I am part of Leadership Charleston through the Charleston Metro Chamber of Commerce. And yesterday we did a bus tour, city bus tour of the Low Country Rapid Transit route. I really enjoyed that, and it was good to talk with Mike Seekings, Councilman Seekings on that. But I would think it would be something that we can, as a commission, could possibly have someone from CARTA, like himself, come in and give us a little bit more details on the accessibility side of Low Country Rapid Transit. It won't be completed until the year 2029, but I think it's helpful to just sort of get the word out about it. So
That'd be great.
Child agency, there we go.
That's great.
We looked at Low Country Rapid Transit yesterday at Design Review and October 8th at Sketch Plan Wednesday, which is a TRC function. I have 4 questions into them at the moment. They include projections into the accessible route. They include the height of the fares, so the height, the reach ranges for the heights. They include how much the curb reveal is. But I think the rest of it, they've pretty much got nailed down from the bus stop perspective, not from the bus perspective. I think having Mike Seekings come in, if he'd be willing, would be lovely.
my on the route yesterday, my first question was access to the bus stop or the route to the bus stops. Because on Rivers Avenue, it looks like a stop is going to be every 2 to 3 blocks, maybe.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure that people, if they're on like 1 block and need to travel 2 or 3 more blocks to get to the stop, are those routes accessible also, not just
I
go to
think
bus
that's
stops?
part of the plan. Yeah. But again, it's a long route.
It is.
They won't tell me much about anything except what's in the city of Charleston. They say
And that's
things
what-
like,
and
that's
what we're-
not your department. So,
I think
but I think Mike Seekings would be a good idea. Okay, it's 5 o'clock.
Is it really?
501.
Anything else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Oh, wait a minute, next meeting, November 21, 2023,
For Thanksgiving.
4 o'clock.
It's not, oh.
Not the last Friday, the
Not
third
the last.
Friday. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn now.
Make a motion to adjourn.
We're adjourned.